I don't know which category you would put yourself in, but during this strange time of the pandemic, my sense is that people who still have jobs are working harder than ever. And those of us who don't are developing a lot of bad habits. One, watching too much television, too much internet. But here's two of my least recent watches anyways. In the movie The Treasure of Sierra Madre that was produced in 1948, starring John Huston and Humphrey Bogart, John Huston says at a certain point, gold can change a man's soul. Gold can change a man's soul. This movie is basically the story of three men who come together. Only one knows much about prospecting, and they go off to the desert of Mexico to try to find treasure, to try to find gold. But in the process, and they do find the gold, there is betrayal and mistrust and finally death. And they lose everything they had found. Gold can change a man's soul. The other is a series, a strange series on Netflix called Alone in the Arctic. It's the story of, a true story, of dropping 10 people in different places in the Arctic where they have almost nothing, and the one who outlasts all the others receives $1 million. It's another form of what people will do. And the people who go obviously are experienced in the outdoors and the wilderness. They have to build their own shelter, especially knowing that the temperatures are going to fall below zero. They have to find their own food, rabbits, squirrels, fish, a wolverine, which I never knew what exactly it was, and a moose. But in the process, they spend so much time alone that they begin to get a little stir-crazy. Maybe some of us are getting a little stir-crazy. But one by one, they're forced to drop out because their health is in danger or because they just finally throw in the towel. All for money. In today's parables that Jesus tells, Jesus in a way is kind of encouraging gambling. At least he understands the basic principle of gambling, that you have to sell to buy. You have to take big risks. And that's what he's proposing. What if the secret of life is something we haven't yet discovered? And for Jesus, working out of his own experience of God, the pearl of great price is simply really finding God. The treasure in the field is knowing God. But to do that, we have to sell to buy. We have to, in a sense, make God more central in our life. And that's the challenge for us. St. Augustine, in his Confessions, writes about, I was looking outside of myself for what would really bring me happiness. But you, God, were inside, and I didn't know it. Meister Eckhart, the great theologian from the Middle Ages, says, inside each one of us, deep inside each one of us, is a vintage wine cellar. But we very seldom go there to drink. And so Jesus tells us these parables of people who are willing to roll the dice to find the treasure, to find the pearl of great price. And it's worth it. And yet you and I are very often, we're not actually gamblers. What we want to do is hold on to it all. And that doesn't work. We have to sell to buy. And so today's gospel challenges us, how hungry are we to find the treasure, to find what can really make the difference in our life? And it is the humanizing project of Jesus that Jesus tries to share with us. To do that, though, we have to know something about rolling the dice. We have to know and be willing to sell to buy the treasure.